Hi everyone, welcome to Veronika Hug. Today I prepared a headband project for you. So I'm using one spool, it's Woolly Hugs Charity this time, so 100 meters per 100 grams or 110 yards per 3.5 ounces. It's 75% wool, 15% polyamide, 10% polyacted. And this wool is called charity because 50 cents of each sold wool go to a charity organization that is near where I live. If you would like to find out more, you can do that on my website. So I usually use 3.5 to 4.5 millimeter needles with this wool, but for today I will use my 3 millimeter needles since I want this a little bit tighter. So I'm taking 2 knitting needles. Here they are. So in order to make this video not too long, I decided to do a baby size with you, but I will tell you how to do the adult size as well if you're interested in that one. So we start here on the back middle section, and then we do 25 stitches for an adult size, and since I'm doing a baby size, I'll do 13 stitches. Take the edge stitch and stitch onto your free needle and then do a row of just knit stitches. Edge stitch also knitwise, and then we again start by taking the edge stitch off, and then we again do all of the stitches knitwise. And end with the knit stitch, and the following row goes the same way. Fourth row as well. Also, feel free to check out any other videos I have on my channel. I bet there's something that you're gonna enjoy. Okay, so I decided to skip the next section so that the video doesn't get too long. So for the baby size, I will do 30 rows, and you can easily see these by the ribs that kind of form themselves as you do the rows. So each rib is 2 rows, so when you're able to count 15 of these, that's when you have 30 rows total. So that's when you would start with the lessenings or reductions, and I'm gonna show you the adult size as well. So if you take that one, you're gonna need a little bit more work. So we will need 42 rows total, so 21 ribs if you'd like. And that's where you start the lessenings. edge stitch goes to the other needle, and then you do one knit stitch. The next stitch you take onto your needle, then you do the other, so the following one in knit stitch, and you pull the first one over it. Next row as well, so then we have just 12 stitches in the baby size and 24 in adult size. And I'll repeat the same thing 4 times in every 4th row, or every 6th row, sorry. So this would be for the baby size. So 4 times in every 6th row, the reductions. In the adult size, we would do 6 reductions in every 4th row. So 2 are already done. Let's continue. So basically every second front row is where you do the reduction. So in the adult size it's every 4th row, and in the baby size it's every 6th row. And now you just need a little bit of patience. So I'll show you one more time the reduction. So edge stitch off and then 1 knit stitch, and then you would do 1, just take on the needle, and the following one you do as a knit stitch, and then pull back the first one you did over it. Then we will do 5 more rows without any additions or reductions. And if you're doing an adult size, you would do this just 3 more rows. So you would keep repeating this until you have just 18 stitches in your adult size. And in case you're doing a baby size, this number would be 8 stitches total. One more. So then the reductions here, the first one, and then we did a couple of front and back rows, and then you would find the next reduction all the way over here. And now I have just a little bit left over before I do another one. So you can probably already notice that it's super simple to do. So I have 10 stitches and I'll repeat the reductions 2 more times in order to get 8 stitches that I need. And here in the adult one, since I'm doing a reduction in every 4th row, so let me see, you can see here that I did the stitches together, so the 2 ones that I reduced. Then here, 2 ribs normally or regularly done, and then another reduction on top. And then again the same 4 rows without and 1 row with the reductions. And we basically continue this way, so with the reductions in every 4th row all the way till we get just 18 stitches in our work. Okay, so I have here 8 stitches, or in case of the adult size, I have here now 18 stitches. And now the next step. And now we basically just continue all the way till we reach the other end, so we don't do any additions or reductions, so nothing like that. And we need to do a total of 72 rows in order to get the baby size, so the full length of it. So you would here be at the front section of the headband, and in the adult one, it's going to be 92 rows before you reach the other side. So after that, you will mark that row in either case, and then I'll show you what the next step is. So I'll meet you after I do this, so after I finish the 72 rows in the baby size, so 72 is what we need, and in the adult size, 92. So now I have 72 or 92 in the adult one, and I'm gonna do the one last row that I need. You can now mark this with a marker or a pin or whatever you like. I'm gonna take just a little piece of thread that I'm gonna work into it. So I marked this now, and I'm gonna do a couple more rows after this marked section in order to get the size that I want, and so that I can end the project. So I began with the reductions after 30 regular rows. So here, and let me count. Okay, 54 rows, and then we have the section without the reduction, so let me count that. "18 rows here without the reductions. So actually when you calculate, when you sum everything up, you get the 72 rows that I was mentioning. So now after this marked section, I will again do 18 regular rows without reductions so that I get the symmetrical shape that I want to get. So 18 regular rows is what we're going to do, and then we're going to have the additions to mimic the symmetrical shape. And here in this case where I began, we had a total of 42 rows before the lessenings or reductions. "66, so after 66 rows I stopped with the reductions. And then when I finished this section, I stopped the reductions and I did the following section with just regular rows, so nothing added or reduced, and I had 26 rows in this case total. So here after the mark, I'd again do 26 rows. And here after the mark it would be 18. Okay, so we're good now. And now we're gonna do the additions to mimic this symmetrical shape. And for that, I'm gonna do an addition, so edge stitch, and then you would do one regular knit stitch, and then you would get to the next stitch. And this is where you need to pay attention. So you would go around this little loop that you see. So this one that goes over it, the horizontal one. I hope you can see this nicely. So take that around and do a stitch. So now I did the one addition, and I'll keep doing this in every 6th row until I get a total number of stitches that's 13. And the adult size, I'm gonna repeat it in every 4th row, and I'm gonna need a total of 25 stitches in the end. So after we do this, we're gonna be almost done, and then we're just gonna cast the stitches off and we're gonna finish. So if you're interested in any other videos or projects that I might have, feel free to check out the channel and even subscribe if you'd like to stay updated with all of my other videos. One knit stitch and then go through here and do another stitch. So you do this also knitwise, and then you just continue with the other ones just as you usually would. So in the baby size, repeat this in every 6th row, and in the adult size in every 4th row. So after a while, this is what I have, and this is now again 72 stitches from the mark. So the mark kind of separates it in 2 equal halves, and here it was 92. So now the next and last step is to cast the stitches off. And of course, we're gonna connect the beginning and the end to get the full circled shape. So if you're doing a baby size, you would do 50 to 52 centimeters, and if you want to do an adult size, then that would be 52 to 56 centimeters, depending on the circumference of your head. I'm cutting the thread off and I'm going to use it to connect, so I'll leave it a bit longer, but I will pull it through and pull it tight so that everything stays in place. And now you take your other half or the other end of it, and we're going to be connecting this, so we'll just go through both of the sides with the thread. It's super simple to do, but if you're new to this, just follow my lead. this end stitch is not going to be very visible when you wear it, so just don't worry about it. Make sure you do it nicely and neatly. So this is actually going to be the inside. We're going to turn it inside out, so that way it's going to be even less visible than what you're seeing right now. And we are now almost done. So here we are. Now we're just gonna weave in the leftover thread. The other side will do as well, and then you're done, and you can leave or take the mark out, and then you're done. So you see what the end result looks like. You can adjust it according to your own size, so feel free to try out the adult size or the baby size. And yeah, this was a project. I hope you guys had fun. Feel free to shoot a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you in one of our next videos. Have a great day. Bye!